myself 8y plus 3 equals 5y plus 15. Give me a 1 for A, a 2 for B, a 3 for C, and a 4 for D. And actually, just real quick, not that I'm disagreeing, just showing. You should have had 3y at some point equals 12, which does in fact give you your y equals 4. So if you picked C, you were correct. Number 2. What's our first step in number 2? What do you do first, Sierra? Okay, so that's, what's the word for distribute? And then when I take negative 14 and positive 12 and add them together, what's that called? Zoe? Combining like terms. Okay, so we have 4x minus 2 equals 7x minus 7. What do I do with my 7 or my 4? What did you do next, Dominique?
I subtracted 4 to 7.
Perfect.
Oh my god. I keep
And then what do you do next? Uh-oh. Okay, what do we do next? Dominique?
add 7.
Good? And then what do I do last? Luke? Perfect. So we got C again. Yeah.
I got negative 5.
Did you have a negative 5 and a negative 3? Did you move like your 7 to the other side and your 2? If you flipped up your 4 and 7, she should have 2 negatives, right?
Yeah, she has 2 negatives, but she just didn't take one out of the last step.
Got it.
See right here? Negative 3, negative 5. You have 2 and you divided, she divided out.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was like, I could see where it came from.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know.
Alright, and so 2.8w minus 3. Okay, Abby, what'd you do first?
I did negative 3 equals 2.2 minus 8y equals 0.8. No, I took the 2.8 and I made it over to the side. I know.
Well,
Good morning, Mrs. McBride.
Negative 2.8
I most certainly can. You're welcome. Colin, you have to go see Mr. Kaznick.
myself.
I have no idea. He didn't specify. He's usually not very long.
I'll take it.
Alright, so Miss Abby, just give me the first thing you did.
I subtracted 2.8 to 5.
Okay. So guys, one of the things I noticed, which is why I wanted to review these, when I looked at our quizzes, you might have wrote subtract 2.8, but you didn't write your W. You didn't write your W. You have to put that W on your work. Does that make sense? So a lot of you would write the negative 2.8, but you forgot the W. So it should be negative 3 equals, and then 5 minus 2.8 gave you 2.2. W minus 0.8. Landon, what do you do next?
I added 0.8
That's stupid. And what do we do last?
Oh, my bad.
Check the math there.
For which part?
My math is off.
I was like, oh my goodness. Yeah, Dominique, what do we do?
You have to divide our 2.2.
Yep. And when you divide the number by itself, it becomes a... Yeah, so our answer is... Good.
I'm mistaken myself. 0.3 instead of just a -3.
And then you made me nervous because I was like, oh no, I wrote it. Okay, and then here, 5x plus 15, because we're going to distribute our 5. Combine like terms. What happens when you get the same thing on the left equal to the same thing on the right, Nevaeh? Is no solution one of my options? Oh, I was like, sorry, dear. Remember, I can't,
Tough to hear with the masks.
and I can't hear to begin with. We'll take my old ears out of here. All answers is the same as infinite. So you should have had D. Goal for today is to evaluate algebraic expressions involving absolute values. So we have a minus 7 plus 15 equals a plus 5, or a equals 5. So yesterday, a lot of you did a fantastic job on your homework, but one of the comments I gave you was that we don't just want your final answers, we want the work that leads up to those final answers. So I want to make sure we're all showing the step that comes next, which is the step where you plug 5 in. So you should show us 5 minus 7 in that absolute value. That right there would earn you the first part of the credit for this problem. 5 minus 7 is -2. So then that would give you the absolute value of -2. So you simplify inside your absolute value first. Then you take your absolute value and then you want to give me that final answer of 17. So again, a lot of you on your homework were jumping from here to there. We don't want to do that. Okay? My bad. I forgot I typed it. Okay, so same thing. You're going to take the -5, replace it inside your absolute value. So you have -5 minus 7 absolute value plus 15. How many of us think this answer is going to be the same or different? We started with a +5. This time it's a -5. What do you think, Abby? Okay, she thinks different. Anybody think the same? Okay. So what's -5 minus 7? Go ahead, Zoe. Okay, so -12. Is what's inside my absolute value here the same as what was in it in the question above? No. What? For question 1. We're on example 2. So the absolute value of negative 12 is 12. So we get 12 plus 15. So we get 27. Is 17 and 27 the same? No. So the absolute value of a positive and a negative change your answers. Okay? So let's look at this example here. It is a multiple choice, but we tell you guys all the time, multiple choice doesn't mean don't show your work. So you would want to show me absolute value 17 minus 6 plus 23. You always combine what's in the absolute value first. Then you can take your absolute value, and we get 34. Okay, your homework is 2-5. Homework day 2, which we're passing out to you now.